Hi guys, Mark here. Well, welcome along today to another review on the 2022 Honda CB500F. I've had this bike now for just over a week, managed to do a good few hundred miles on it, so I've managed to get a good idea of what it's like. So stay tuned and I'll give you my thoughts on this brilliant middleweight bike. Okay, Honda CB500F test ride. So quite easy to swing a leg over. It's got quite a nice low seat height. I'm 5'7" tall with a 30-inch inside leg, and I can touch my feet down quite easily, flat-footed with knees slightly bent. Do watch my first proper review on this. I'll put a link to that at the end, and that shows you me on the bike so you actually see how I fit it. But you know, in the few hundred miles I've had this bike, I've been really impressed with it. It's super easy to ride, it's really good fun, and you know, it's got a fantastic economy and just a really good all-round middleweight A2 bike. We're currently here in the Purbeck Hills of Dorset, south of England, and the bike's kindly loaned to me by Honda UK. Alright, off we go. So in the time I've had the bike, I've done about 350 miles on it in just over a week. It's really impressed me. It's just a lovely, nice, easy bike to ride. All the controls are super light. You know, the clutches, assist and slipper. It's one of the nicest, lightest, smoothest clutches I think I've ever tried. The new upgrades for this year, you've got the Showa separate fork function, big piston forks, upside down at the front. They give really good feedback on the front end. We've now got twin discs set up on the front with Nissin brakes, and they are really strong, so they're a good upgrade as well. And for the money, you know, I think it's about £5,800 this bike. It really can't be beaten. I mean, if you want the sporty flavour, you know, you're going to go for the CBR500, and if you want the adventure style, you're going to go for the X model. I should hopefully get reviews done on those later on this year. But somewhere in the middle sits the CB500F. It's a nice all-round bike. I mean, the seating position on it, super comfortable. I've done a 3-hour ride on it, and I stopped for about 15 minutes in the middle. No problems at all with seat comfort. It's got a very plush padded seat. The seating position is slightly lean forward, not totally upright, but that adds to the sort of sporty flavour, shall we say. Leg position, all very comfortable, a little bit back, but you know, if you're a bigger guy, say you're 5'10", 6 foot, you're going to get on with this fine. If you're smaller than me, you should still be able to touch down okay. I mean, a lot of training schools use these for their bikes, so and it's easy to understand why. So vibrations on this bike, it's a very smooth parallel twin engine, 471cc, around about 47 horsepower, so it's A2 compatible. It's a very smooth engine. This one in particular is probably one of the smoothest ones I've tried. It's done over 2,000 miles, this one now, so I guess it's kind of just smoothed out nicely. The engine's very revvy and playful. Through at third gear now. I sort of open it up. It's very keen. It's got a lot of go to it. Top speed is around about 110 mile an hour, I would say. Brakes are very strong, nothing behind. Oh, yeah, they're really good. Gearbox, I found it to be super light and smooth. Never had a false neutral. I haven't missed any gears on it, so that's all good. I would take it on a dual carriageway a bit later to show you what it's like at higher speeds, but if you wanted to do some touring on this, no problems whatsoever. This does have the little Honda fly screen here, which looks good, and it does give a bit of added protection as well, which is good. It's got the Honda heated grips as well. I've used those and they're very warm, and it's got a very convenient little tank bag here as well to put your stuff in. There's a little tiny compartment at the back under the rear seat for a little drink or something. Back brake's got a nice bit of bite to it as well. Now I have filled it up a couple of times and accurately worked out the fuel consumption, and pleased to report I've been getting around about 78 miles per gallon UK, that is, and that is exceptional in today's world of crazy fuel prices. So yeah, 78 miles per gallon with a really good sort of over 200 mile range. We'll take it through town in a bit to show you what the throttle response is like, but that's excellent as well. So first gear, just winding it out. So you can see it's got a good bit of acceleration, 0 to 60 about 5 seconds, I would say. It's just a really nice all-round do-it-all bike. You know, if you're looking for something that doesn't break the bank, it's about £5,800. You've got that unbelievable Honda build quality and reliability. These things just don't really go wrong, they just go on and on forever. Very good service intervals of 8,000 miles. You know, these really can't be beaten. All sort of simple stuff really, is no electronic suspension or riding modes. All the switch gear here is very easy to use. It's got a span adjustable front brake lever, which is a nice touch. I do love that gearbox, it's so light. But the engine is 471cc parallel twin. It's very, very flexible. I mean, we're in third gear now. We'll open it up. Look. As you can see, there's your 60. Very, very keen. It's a fun little engine. It enjoys sort of being opened up, but on the other hand it's very, very tractable from low RPM. If I put it in top gear now, sort of 40 mile an hour, open it up, there's your 50 and there's your 60. So you can see it's a very flexible, willing little engine. All the mirrors very clear. You can see a little bit of my elbows, but all in all very, very clear. The LCD display, it's not super bright like a TFT, but I had no issue seeing it at all. Bright sunlight is still very clear. So we're just coming into a town environment now, just to show you how this lovely engine rides at low RPM. It can be a bit sort of, they can hunt and surge a bit, some of these Euro 5 bikes with low RPM fueling, but as you can see we're in fourth gear at the moment. We're doing 3,000 revs and it's just purring along absolutely beautifully. So you know, you're going to be wanting to use this probably to go to work on. It's that sort of bike, commuting, filtering through traffic, and this is absolutely immaculate fueling. So no, as I said, no riding modes on this, but the throttle is very, very soft. It's not too snatchy. just rolls on really nicely, and even in this sort of fourth gear, yeah, there's plenty of response there. Bike's not that wide, so if you had to do some filtering through traffic, absolutely fine. And it's just a nice weight. I mean, it's about 190 kilos wet weight, something like that, and it doesn't feel overly heavy at all. It's very easy to flick. I'll say this super light clutch is very, very smooth in operation, and the gearbox is just perfect as well. It just flicks from side to side. It's really easy. So a fourth gear now, just show you it opening up. There's your 50, 60, and it keeps going. It's really fun. It's a very playful little engine. I've had a lot of fun out of this bike. The overall handling of the bike, it's a very, very comfortable ride. They've done a really good job with the new suspension up front. Got a new swing arm at the back as well. And it just does a really good job of absorbing all the bumps. It's a quality ride, it's plush, comfortable, but it still retains that little bit of sportiness around the corners. So yeah, they've pretty much got it spot on, in my opinion. But the brakes are exceptional now. They're really strong. I mean, they weren't bad last year's model with the single disc, but they're even better now. Tyres on these come with the absolutely utterly brilliant Michelin Road 5s. It's one of the best tyres you can get for all-round use. Plenty of grip. They last really well, and the wet weather performance is exceptional as well. So here we are on a dual carriageway, very easily up to an indicated 70 miles an hour. We're turning over at 5,500 RPM. Very relaxed indeed. You could definitely do some touring on this at higher speeds. Very stable indeed. Open it up in top gear, still pulls very nicely. I just drop it down a gear, up to 6,000 RPM now, and there's just a little tiny buzz coming through the foot pegs, but nothing bad at all. This is one of the smoothest ones of these I've tried. Very good. Wind blast totally acceptable for a naked bike. Just leaning into it steadily, not too bad at all at this sort of wind speed, at this sort of speed. So yeah, the 500 is absolutely fine, guys, at higher speeds. Okay guys, we'll just wrap it up here. Have a little final walk round the CB500F. So as expected, very, very easy into first and neutral. Little sound test for you. Lovely. And a little look at that little LCD dash again. Gives you all your info, miles an hour, gears, revs, miles per gallon, clock. So good decent side stand. I do believe a centre stand is available for these as well from Honda. So let's have a little good final walk around, shall we? So yeah, there's your new Showa separate fork function, big piston forks. They're non-adjustable, but to be honest, they're absolutely set fine. They got really good feedback, great suspension that is at the front there. And there's your Nissin new twin disc setup for this year, which is really good. Pedal discs as well, which is a nice touch. So super keen, reliable, lots of punch in the low and mid range, and a revvy top end parallel twin there. 8,000 mile service intervals, which is brilliant. Got a new swing arm for this year as well. Little tiny space under there. Got brilliant Michelin Road 5 tyres. They're exceptional tyres, those are. But you know, it's the usual, you know, excellent Honda build quality. You can't go wrong with a Honda. I do like this yellow actually, it's very nice. So off the side stand, it's quite easy. It's not a heavy bike, and it's an absolute doddle to push around. Very easy indeed. So we have a cable clutch, non-adjustable for span, adjustable front brake lever for span, LEDs all round. I have tried it at night, and the lights are very good at night. I have also taken a passenger on it just briefly. It's not bad, you know, it's sort of average. It's not like it's touring comfort, but absolutely acceptable if you had to take a passenger on that. So it's got the Honda screen on it, Honda tank bag, and heated grips, which is a nice touch on this one. I was sad to see it go actually. I've had a lot of fun out of this bike. It's just a nice go-to bike, you know. It's easy to ride, it's fun, it's reliable, it's super cheap to run with its good fuel economy. You really can't go wrong with one of these. You know, if you're in the market for, you know, if you're a new biker looking for, you know, an A2 bike, definitely give one of these a look. You know, you really can't go wrong. So there you go guys, Honda CB500F, my final thoughts on it. So please give me a like, share and subscribe. As always, don't forget to post your comments down below, and I'll catch you again in a week or so for another review. Take care guys, ride safe, and bye for now.